can be fun.
He wanted me to talk about the
I didn't know.
We have yellowfin tuna. We went out for a day, 24 hours. We left at midnight and got in around 8 p.m. the next day. So we caught 3 yellowfin tuna and about 20 mahi-mahi.
This is the mahi fillets.
This is the result, the delicious result.
Tuna, yes.
This was just a fun trip. Just taking it home to eat.
This was a fun trip. Otherwise, they'd be sold at the dock and sent off to the markets.
Yeah, actually, all of us we work on the scallop boats, and he's the captain of this boat. This is a charter boat, but we went out to have some fun. It's like the end of our season. Generally, starts in April, ends around now. They scallop all year though, so
yeah.
But the best scalloping is in the summer. All over, up and down the East Coast, out off of Nantucket and Cape Cod. We go 300 miles away to catch them.
Yeah.
Way out in the middle of the ocean.
I'm Michael. I just started working here, so I do whatever Rob tells me to do.
Hi, I'm Cassidy. I've worked here for about 8 years, and I just help the customers, let them know some delicious recipes if I know them, tell them what's local. So our local fish right now are the tilefish, the flounder. Our scallops are always local. All the red boats out there are scallop boats. And down here we have our tuna and our swordfish, as well as the thresher shark are local. Our top necks and our little necks are local, and our oysters are always local as well. We are open from Easter weekend until 2 weekends from now is when we close for the season.
My name is James Fowler. I am the HACCP manager over at Viking Village here, the commercial fishing dock. I've been here since 2010, where I split off for a couple of years to try another endeavor as far as the fishing business. I am now back handling all the HACCP plans and dealing with the federal government on making sure that we're up to snuff with all our regulations and that we have good quality control at Viking Village. We are in probably 45 minutes from Tuckerton Seaport. We're local. I've been here my whole life. I grew up in Long Beach Island and started working here back in 2010. If you notice out here, we have all these red boats here. These are all scallop boats. They're finishing up for the year. They will get their days back in March of next year. We also hold some dayboat scallopers out here. These guys here they get about 600 pounds a day, and they'll go out for 30 hours at a clip to come back and give us 600 pounds of scallops on a daily, when weather suits. We stay out of the wind, stay out of the weather, and they do pretty well. On the other side of this, we have our gill netters, and gill netters, obviously, they work throughout the year. Right now, they're going through smooth dogfish, and we're going to be working our way into the monkfish season throughout the winter months. That keeps us pretty busy throughout the year. We do have 2 longline boats that are out here. One of them is going to be working here within the next week. I believe they're leaving Monday, and they'll go out for roughly 10 to 14 days and look for tuna fish and swordfish and mahi. They did pretty well last time, averaging around 10,000 to 20,000 pounds of fish per trip. So we should see them on the next moon, which is right around October 20th. We should see them in. These red boats, I believe there's 15 red boats that are full-time scallopers. We have 7 gill net boats that constantly work throughout the year. And we have a fluke boat out there, that's the Dream Warrior. He's a dragger, and he goes for fluke, scup, and different items like that. And he's on a pretty daily basis. These guys try to get out there when the weather permits and you know, try to get us the freshest stuff that we can get and supply that to our customers. Most of the stuff that we do bring in, we do have a local market for it, some of our local restaurants. Some of the other stuff will get sent up to New York, to the New Fulton Fish Market. From there, it'll go all over the country. We deal with, we have items that we send down to Texas, Las Vegas, Midwest. Our sales staff does a great job with handling that. But as soon as everything comes in, we usually have a breakdown of what comes in, so we know exactly what the boat has. And that's good for our sales team, because then this way they can actually go out and sell the items that we have, because they know exactly what we have and what customers are looking for. Once it comes in, we unload it. Once that's unloaded, we box it, ice it, and it gets sent out front. And what we'll do is we'll lump it together, what we call lumping. We'll lump it all together in specific order for the customers to have. So most of it will be marked for New York, some will be marked for Philly, some is marked for our local restaurants, our local fish markets in the area. Blue Claw, Surf City Fisheries, Cassidy's Fish Market. These guys all come and get their stuff from us. Yeah, it's a great local market, and you know, I believe we're the 3rd largest on the East Coast. So we do a lot of pounds come through here, and it's a good business, man. Like I said, I grew up here, and I never knew how big the fishing industry actually was in this town. When I came here, I was shocked to learn how much actual poundage we move across this dock and where it goes in the country. You would never think that it would be that way. I grew up on the beach. I love the beach. It's a lifestyle. It's different than anywhere I've ever been. But up and down the shore, between Cape May, Point Pleasant, you know, us here in Barnegat Light, it's an amazing fishing industry, and it's a culture. And these guys are family. You know, we all look out for one another. And it's been a fantastic working experience, and living and being up here is a great time. Okay, so right here we have large medium tile. This is a tile fish. This is a great eating fish. This is for one of our local markets. This is going to Surf City Fisheries. These guys pick up all the time down here, and I'll show you what it looks like here. Everything is buried on ice. That's the way it's packed, and this is the whole fish. This is a golden tile fish. This fish comes, they fish probably out by the Hudson Canyon for these. It's a deep water fish, great eating. But this is something that we use here at Viking Village a lot. This is one of our heavily used fishes that we actually sell a lot of. And again, we have a local guy come to pick this up today, so we'll just bury that back in ice. And I'll show you a little bit of the facility here. So all of our stuff is stored in a cooler, in our main cooler, which is over here. This is where we house all of our fish. As you can take a peek in here. This is what we store our scallops, and we have our fluke and smooth dogs and all different things that we bring in from the net boats. We do have 70 pounds, 7 tunas in here. So inside of our main cooler, we have scallops, which are all boxed over here. They're also, with our weights, what type of scallops they are, the boat that they come in on. This is all for traceability, so we know exactly where the fish is coming from and who's responsible if there's any problems. If there's any overages and things like that, we can handle that. We have medium fluke, which has all come in yesterday. This is 2,500 pounds that came in, all different sizes, medium, large, and some other smaller items. And then these are our gill net guys. These are smooth dogs. These are sand sharks. They're great eating. These will go up to the New York market, and they'll wind up going out to different eateries. They'll go out to Britain for fish and chips and things like that. So we keep ourselves pretty busy with this stuff all year round. And come on, I'll show you some more. Viking Village was, I believe, started in the 1920s. Soon after that, John Larson and Captain Lou Puskas purchased it together. which now you see now. This has been in the family for generations. They're still around. We do have multiple Larsons who work here. They all work on these boats here. And this is the Scalper. This is one of our bigger boats. These guys go out for multiple trips. They go out for 14 to 20 days and load up with 30,000 pounds of scallops. It was Carter, Keith Larson, John Larson, who's passed away. We had Captain Lou Puskus, who was essential in setting up like demarcation lines so we don't have other fisheries come in here and take all of our fish. He went down to Congress with him and his wife and set up a demarcation line of 200 miles so no other foreign entities allowed to come into our waters and take any of our stuff, which is good for us. Scallop seasons, I believe they get their days in the first beginning of March, and they'll fish. They have a certain quota, so the quota has to be caught. So they'll catch that, which they're done now. These guys here right around October, second week in October, they're finished fishing for scallops, and then they'll have leftover days, which they can use for, certain boats have day fishing trips where they can go out and catch 600 pounds. But now what goes on is once these days are done, scallopers will come back and they do gear work on their boats, get them ready, take them out of the water, make sure your props are clean, or the engine's working properly, they paint them, they clean them, they work on their dredges, all in preparation to go back out in March and fish again. This is a culture. People down here, you have to be interested. It's very hard work to come down here and become a scalloper, but they're open to guys. We have a lot of good guys down here, a lot of good boat captains who take care of people as far as putting them under their wing and helping them out. We do have a couple of teaching boats down here, which they'll bring on a greenhorn, a new guy, and that boat will take them out and teach them how to scallop via how to cut them, how to clean them, how to put the boats together, how to do the tie work, how to do the wire, how to do the dredge, and that gears them up for going out onto another boat. So they kind of just keep together. They sustain that by bringing the person up on a smaller boat, letting them work onto the bigger boats, and then that's how they do that. You know, there's always work down here at the dock for guys like myself who handle all the fish. You know, we're very short-handed these days, so we do have a lot of guys who come down here, and it is hard work. It's excruciating work, and there are long days. There are some days that are short, some days that are very, very long. But it is all together. It's a great family-oriented place. The people down here are fantastic, and I couldn't be happier. One thing about the fishing industry in the United States, it's the highest regulated industry in the world. And basically why we do that is because we want to be able to keep fishing throughout generations. We want to be able to have fish here for forever. And you know, we work hand in hand with the U.S. government to make sure that that gets done via trip reports and how we report it to the government, and that helps in the long run to keep it sustainable. They'll open up one area where they can fish, close another area down, and this way you're letting the scallops grow, and then they can manage manage it all. Through the pandemic, we were lucky enough that we didn't really have to change anything here. We were able to fish through the pandemic. We were able to get product that we needed. We did see a downplay with orders coming from New York because of restaurant restrictions and things like that. So it was a little harder to move some of the product, but we still sustained throughout the whole year. It was fantastic. To be honest with you, we took care of our guys here. We made sure that we were all doing the right thing, and we were able to fish and get fresh product to the people that needed it and people who were open. So that was good. We really didn't have any problems with the pandemic, which is great. And I would hope to be here for the rest of my career. You know, moving forward, I think we have a lot of more things that we could do to push the industry and hopefully move it forward in the right direction. All signs are pointing that way. I would love to be here to see it grow, but as of right now, I don't foresee myself going anywhere. I love it down here. I think it's a great place to work. Like I said, the people down here are fantastic from start to finish. From the top of the line to the bottom line, it's a fantastic place to work, and I would love my kids to come down here and do what I do, you know? So, again, that's pretty much it.
Captain Pete Dolan, I run the Miss May. Put behind us a full-time limited access scallop boat. I grew up here in town out in Highbow Harbor, so as a little kid, as a little dock rat, working here after school, making boxes, packing boats, and working on the head boats in the summertime. Got involved with the fishery. Back then, all the big money was in long line and sword and tuna. Scalping was the money, really, all good money wasn't there. So I wound up doing that first. Became a captain at 20. Started my long line journey and wound up fishing anywhere from the equator all the way up to the Labrador Basin for swordfish and tuna. Got a little older, like in my mid-20s, bought a house over on the mainland, decided I want to be closer to home, so I started scalping. Back then it was a little rough because there were some times when actually you could buy a pound of bologna. A pound of bologna was worth more money than a pound of scalps when I started scalping. And we literally almost fished ourselves out of the fishery till, you know, some people realized that there was a problem, and we redid the whole fishery, limited days at sea, rotating closure areas and stuff like that to make it more sustainable and keep a better eye on the stocks that we fish in. And it turned out being one of the businesses, if you ask me, one of the biggest success stories of any fishery I ever heard of. And now with making the bigger money, we have better crew members, better captains, nicer boats. There's more money to put into everything, and it's a lot easier on the captains also, because you got better younger crew members who want to buy homes, raise a family, and stuff like that. The scalp dredges we catch the scalps with. See all these chains down there? You see, that's what I was talking about, the turtle deflectors. Because they say, like, when we're hauling back, the turtles swim on the surface, and we've never caught one. This was just to make sure we let people know that we're doing everything not to. So the idea is having small chain windows, because the green turtles are really big, that there's no way in the world that they can get into our dredges. I actually do another thing with Study Fleet. That's a program to keep track of quotas, so we don't go over them or shut an area down too soon and go under. And also we record all the stuff, the disregarded stuff we catch, like skates and stuff we don't keep besides scalps. Small scalps that we kick back over that we don't keep and all that. It's all recorded, and every single tow I make gets recorded and sent to the National Marine Fisheries. You'll see there's a camera in there that actually takes temperatures of the bottom of the ocean everywhere I tow. And I'll show you when we go upstairs. There's an antenna in the window. So it's kind of like a Bluetooth. When I haul this up, it catches that, records the information, and puts it in my computer. So this big coral will go there, and a small one there. And whatever we're catching size, we got to cut the size. It's kind of like shrimp. So many count per pound. Well, we do the same thing with the scallops. So big and small is how I just do it, That's a good question. When we are doing limited access trips, the full trips, we're only allowed to take 7 guys, no more. That's it. So me and 6 crew. And the boat rotates 24 hours a day. It never stops. And I have our first mate. He runs the boat when I'm sleeping. So it's like another captain and a crew on it. Changes. Gear changed a lot. Size of it, because we were catching a lot smaller scallops, and there were no restrictions, so we were keeping smaller rings and meshes to catch them. So that was one of the other things we had to change when we changed the days at sea and everything, was the size of the rings and everything we used to let the babies go through the seed. So that was a big help. Electronics, information is more accessible now. You can call everybody on the telephone, Before you leave home, you'd be gone for 2 weeks and you never even talk to your wife or anything, This is a single sideband radio. It's like a step above a VHF radio. And that's what I never even turn it on anymore. Anymore, you just email somebody. We got boat-to-boat codes, like, you can just punch in a code and email another boat where you're at or what you're seeing. We help each other out. From back there, that's where I haul all the gear, and I drive the boat from back there when I'm dumping all the scallops and stuff out. That's where I work. Love my job. Yeah. I'm very lucky with it. My father was captain of oil tankers in World War II and to 1962 when he retired and bought a liquor store in town. I was born in '65, so he did that before he even knew my mom. But so yeah, he gets some respect from everybody around here. He did when he was alive. He had the unlimited tonnage. You can run tankers. You got a license called unlimited license. There's guys got it around here, like they got the 100 ton or something like that, or 6 packs. Growing up here was neat because back then it was nowhere near the size of it is now. There was a couple tilefish boats. I think there was one scallop boat in town, But when you're a little kid and you see these guys, like, you know, especially if you have my old man's store there, and these guys come in with these big monster trucks and their Corvettes and making all this money out of it, I'm like, man, they look like they're having fun.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a romantic thing, you know. I want to get involved with that. At first, when I was really young, so like we would, as I got older, we'd do like Christmas breaks, Easter breaks, guys want time off, and you got bigger and you knew everybody, you could jump on a boat and make an extra trip and make yourself a few grand, which was really nice when you were a kid. And in the summer times, we'd start going offshore when we were in high school, and so we got like a real early bite on it. So by the time I was 20, I was already qualified to run a boat and knew what I was doing. So, and Mr. Larson, the guy that's there, gave me the chance, and I've been here ever since. I've been a captain for him for 36 years now. John, oh God, the guy was a pioneer, man. Unbelievable, visionary, that man. You know, his family started. They had a head boat, Miss Barnegat Light, and he still have the new one. And almost like that guy could see the future. It was really weird, you know. Him and another guy, Lou Puskis, bought this dock, and slowly but surely started building this big scout boat fleet, and employs a lot of people. You know, I'm going to tell you numbers, but these guys make a very, very good living working on here. You get an 18-year-old working on deck, and he's doing good, no college debt, kid hit the lottery. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't be left-handed if you're a scalper either. Unless you're ambidextric, is that what they call it? This boat's 65, I believe, by 28, and we draw about 12 foot from the waterline. It's a wave break. I've been in 3 hurricanes out in the ocean since I've been doing this job. And when we built this boat, the whole boat's steel except for this wheelhouse. It's aluminum, bolted onto the boat. And these windows here are bulletproof. This is called Lexan. The side ones are breakthrough windows. I had blowout windows before waves. So usually what happens is when you get a big rogue wave, boat will come up on one wave and come down. But when it comes down, another one's breaking on top of it. And all that scoops up into the front of the wheelhouse, and you can tear them right off the boat. So it's just millions and millions of gallons of pressure. What that does, it's made out of steel, is it displaces the water away from the wheelhouse. Because these windows won't break. This will just rip everything off the boat. So one of these is a satellite compass, the other one's a spare GPS. This is a GPS with charts in it. This is a really nice one, so it just runs everything. There's another GPS back there for the hauling station. And when I'm cutting in the box, I usually can turn that around. So here you have Barnegat Light. Now this is all hooked into a GPS. We have this other system, it's called an AIS system. Every boat has a register in the radios. So what we do is we ping the information off of that, and we can bring it up on here so we can tell how fast other boats are going, what direction they're going, and you know, all their other general information. Like, see, here's a boat right now leaving the inlet, Native Son. So, there might be fish in there. Yeah, he's just fishing in there. Here's that other boat. Here's that tugboat, I believe, trying to get the bear off the beach. So anyway, to use this, say like in the wintertime they pull the buoys out of the bay so they don't get moved with the ice. So I can punch in a track line. See these lines now? This is my course, my plot line, exactly where the boat was to get me back out the inlet again if it's foggy or whatever, nighttime.
Right.
Or they pull the buoys up, so I always know where I'm at. And also, here's Ocean Observer. That's the boat doing all the studies for the windmills that are coming up, which are a very bad idea. And over in the ocean. Never be the same again. Remember I said that. They burn more fossil fuels to produce and put in than they ever give back to you. This is different tows I made scalloping. So yesterday, I was fishing right here. So you highlight that, and that's I can record my tow and go back to a good spot, and I know exactly where it is. So if that helps you with GPSs and stuff, that's how we use it. To see, and I don't know if you can see this, but you see all these marks in here? Those are all wrecks and hang-ups. Now here's your shipping lanes going into Sandy Hook Harbor, which is New York Harbor. And you have Long Island Channel and Barnegat Channel. Now if you look closely, you can see all the wrecks and hangs there. You see these shipwreck marks? I'll zoom it in for you. Those are all wrecks. And most of them are U-boats that got sunk or merchant marine ships in World War II that got torpedoed.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them. So yeah, that's why we put that information in there too. As you asked, what has the GPS help us? I know exactly where that stuff is. You do not want to fetch these dredges up in them. You lose the dredges, are very expensive, or you can turn a boat upside down in them, you know, if you hang up on them. You guys are right up in here. There's Tuckerton Cove. I believe you guys. Here's Tuckerton Creek.
Yep, we take the Tuckerton. Our boat goes from the Tuckerton Creek and comes across. So I think
Yeah,
we're in
so I think you're up in here. So from where we are, you would come out Tuckerton Creek. Here's the buoys. To come out to the ocean, you'd have to go through Beach Haven, or you go across the bay. All the way across through here. There's a Manahawkin Bridge, Beach Haven West, Cedar Bonnet Island. Go under the bridge. Follow these buoys all the way up. Come out to there, and then come around through Double Creek. And here's Barnegat Inlet.